Evening, Cheeseheads. We are live. This is the Cheese Room podcast, but I am watching a penalty shootout. Going to be joined by Brendan shortly. Switzerland with a fifth penalty. Oh, cool as you like. Bottom corner, Lloris the wrong way. All they need is France to miss it. Step up, Moussa Sissoko. Here he is. Here's Bran. See, we should have watched along the whole way through, but yeah.
Because I can't watch. Yeah. Well, let me put my.
We are live, Brendan, so don't swear. Don't swear.
Why not? Why can't we swear?
Viewers, what do you think of Brendan's beard or lack of? Do put it in there. But be kind to him. It's his birthday tomorrow. So here we go. This is where it starts now. Mbappe. I mean, surely he's not going to miss. Surely. Mbappe.
All right.
Good. Has to score. Oh, he's missed it!
Oh, I've got to go watch it.
Oh, yes! No! No! Yes! Yes, it's done. Yes! Oh, go on the Swiss. Come on the Swiss. Yes! France are gone. France are gone. Tomorrow, Germany are going to be gone. I'm telling you, mate, it's far fucking year.
Oh, man.
Unbelievable. Two amazing games today. Amazing games, and we're gonna cover them today in the broadcast. I'm hoping that HG's, if he's not gone to bed, he's going to join us shortly as well.
Yeah,
that was amazing. France out, and Mbappe.
He hasn't scored all tournament, still hasn't. He's gone.
Well, he's not getting now, is he?
Yeah.
I tell you what, it's coming home. It's fucking coming home. Brendan, it's coming home. You're Irish. You don't care. You don't care.
Tomorrow I'm English. I'm Irish when it suits me. Mainly when I'm coming through European airports. That's massive. Jesus. That
is massive. That is absolutely massive. Who do they play in the next round?
Spain.
It's
going to be France. Spain.
I'll tell you what, if they play like that, then they'll beat Spain. Simple as that, because Spain are terrible. Wow. Thanks for joining us tonight on the Cheese Room. We have actually got a packed show for you, apart from Euro's excitement. Started the broadcast a little bit early because I got a little bit carried away, and I wanted the moment that France got knocked out to be captured on YouTube forever for my children, you know. So there you go. People joining the broadcast now. Hello and welcome to the Cheese Room podcast. I'm hoping HG is going to join us at some point this evening, but in the meantime, I'm going to turn that off. And I'm joined by Mr. Brendan McGurty. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. How you doing?
And what I want to know, the real question I've got is, how's Britain treating you? Because you're over here, aren't you? Still waving that Brazil Spurs flag around, but we know where you are. You're in London 10. Yeah. So how have you found Britain so far? Are you still enjoying it? Or is it
loving it? Yeah. Missing the family, missing the wife and family, but been great to be back, see mates, spend time with my dad post-COVID. He's still sort of, after a year in lockdown, he's still getting his strength back and stuff. So, but yeah, just been great to come back. And the football as well has been incredible. Like, this has really got the sort of Euro 96 feeling for me, which for me was the best tournament. I mean, any World Cup that in my lifetime, I was probably a bit too young to really get into Italian 90. So Euro 96 was that special time to be in London, in the UK. And it's the same today.
I mean, it's just been absolutely fantastic, hasn't it? And obviously, we're fortunate enough to have the semi and the final over here, so it's going to be a fantastic carnival of football over the next sort of week or so. Let's just hope England do their bit tomorrow. We are absolutely gonna talk about that. Trust me. I'm gonna go to this format because I like it a little bit better. My head looked too big before. Yeah, Brendan doesn't like his head all zoomed in. Especially, it was really emphasising the beard, wasn't it? The lack of the beard. You know, the baby face is coming out. So I'll start with you, Brendan, as HG's not joined us yet. I can't wait to catch up with you, by the way. So for years you watch it and listen to the Cheese Room all the time. Me and Brendan are going out on a bender on the 9th. All welcome. We'll be in London somewhere, a secret location, having a few beers, going around the stadium. Steve Diver's going to give us a tour of his tunnel club. No euphemisms. That sounds terrible. He's going to give us a tour of the stadium. That's what I said. And we're going to have a great time. So I will make your trip to the UK memorable with the night out in Soho, maybe in the evening afterwards. What was I going to say? So today, the never-ending management hunt. Let's talk Spurs first of all. Oh no, I know it's a chore, but we have to come down to earth with a bump because we are all Spurs fans after all. Spurs, the never-ending management hunt continues, Bren. So today, apparently, Graham Potter has said no to Levy. And now I'm aware that News Corp sources may be a little bit unscrupulous. However, it's still a good headline. Brendan, you must be over the moon because you don't want Potter at all, do you?
He didn't really do it for me, no, but I still want this sorted out quick. It's kind of like you want to hope that there is a plan, that this delay is for some reason. But if the reason is just we're bouncing from different idea to different idea, that's not good. So Potter, if he's ruled himself out, was he really in the running? We don't know. So it's like a Chris Rock joke when he said, "Oh, like so you've ruled yourself out, but I'm ruling myself out of Rihanna's panties. Doesn't mean I was invited." You know what I mean? Like it's not. He may not have been in the running, so we don't know. And I just want it sorted. But like I said, you've got to hope there's some big surprise that's going to come. I think Poch maybe still coming with Zidane floating around PSG. And then
this is the thing. I mean, Zidane to PSG. What are you saying, Bren? I mean, that's on my run sheet. I think there's a real possibility of that, isn't there? Zidane to PSG. He sort of fits the profile the club are looking for. Of course, he's a French icon. The country is going to need a big boost after that humiliation. Is it foreseeable that he could end up there?
Yeah, I mean, they want the Champions League, and that's all he ever wins. So it makes sense if that's their mindset and they're that tunnel vision about approaching it, then they may go for it. If I were them, I'd stick with Poch. But if he genuinely does want to come back, it kind of works out for everyone. But we just don't know. We don't know what's going on. So how many managers have we fallen in love with in the last 2 months, 3 or 4 weeks since Conte, Poch, Nuno, Potter, Gerrard you were talking about yesterday? Come on.
I'll put the kiss of death on all of them, man.
It's you. It's your fault.
There's one common denominator. Anyone we talk about doesn't get the job. He quickly rules himself out. So, you've got me to thank, really, Bren, for Potter ruling himself out of the job. That's what I'm saying. Neo, Potter finished 15th and 16th and wants a top 4 club. Allegedly. Can't blame a man for having ambition, surely.
But where's he going to go in the top 4? Like the top 4 now, what? You got United, maybe. So would United go for him?
United went for Solskjaer, so in theory, anything's possible.
Yeah, but I don't know. I can understand if I was Potter, maybe I wouldn't want to come to the shit show that is Spurs right now, but it is still a big, big job. And
maybe that's what it is. Maybe he's not ruling himself out of Spurs. Maybe he just doesn't want it. Maybe he's just he's ruling himself out of Spurs because it's anyone but Spurs he wants. He wants to stay as far away from White Hart Lane as possible. Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe, I just want it sorted. It is ridiculous, and I'm not overly worried about. Like I said, it's embarrassing for the club. We've no shame really. So, but it is more. Pre-season starts next week, and we haven't got a manager. That's worrying. It's the sort of
that's the worry. The fitness, the tactics, the team bonding, all of those things are going to be really, really, really important. And I just think over the next month or two, we're missing a massive opportunity if we don't appoint someone quick. I was very relaxed about it because we had time, but even I thought the eternal optimist thought that by this point we would have someone in the frame for the bloody job. and have an appointment done. It now looks like Nuno could potentially be going to Fenerbahce. I wasn't really a big Nuno fan, if I'm being really honest, but he would have been someone who knows the Premier League and has got some sort of respectable status in the Premier League. And it looks like he's not going to take the job either. Whether that's because we don't want him. Now, the speculation is we're holding out for someone at the Euros. Any idea who that could be, Bren?
You look at Mancini, maybe, obviously with the Paratici link in terms of they're both Italian. I'm sure they do have a relationship at some level. So they're possibly. Italy have been playing really good football. It's been quite attacking football. And Mancini's obviously experienced, won the Premier League, won all sorts of things in Italy as well. So Martinez possibly. And again, he's one of those that at the beginning I was like, well, no, definitely no. But then as managers start ruling themselves out, you look at Martinez, you're like, well,
we could do worse. Haven't you? You've been beaten down, haven't you? Beaten down, beaten down, and beaten down. At this moment in time, they could appoint me and you'd be happy with it, right?
I don't know about that. But thing is, I tell you, I met Sandro. Sandro said that one day he's going to be Spurs manager, and he invited me to his backroom staff. I just don't know what I'd do. Yeah. He said, when I get the job...
You'd probably do what Levy King does, just look at an iPad and be generally useless. I'm sure you could do that as effectively as Ledley.
Ledley is a club legend, and we don't know what's going on.
Ledley is a club legend. I absolutely agree with you. However, he's not really, I don't think, a particularly good motivator or a tactician.
He's quiet, but we don't know what goes on behind the scenes.
Well, exactly. Between him and Ryan Mason, I don't think they could muster one sort of Churchillian team talk between them. Surely we need someone like me. Fight you on the beaches, fight you on the shore. Absolutely. Well, we'll see. It could all still happen. PSG to appoint Zidane, and we end up with Pochettino. We're right back where we started, but I think it's more. What I'd like to think is we've got someone lined up from a Euros team who's just been knocked out, or are going to get knocked out, and we just appoint them, at the end of the Euros. Maybe that's sort of best case scenario. Is that wishful thinking, Bren? Do you think that's a bit too organised for the club, and we're just really keeping it under wraps?
Yeah, like I said, we just want to plan. You'd like to think that there is someone, maybe he has been mentioned already and will come back, but someone that they've got their eye on, that they are determined to go for it. The scattergun nature of the last couple of months has not been good for anyone. It's been good for betting companies and YouTubers like us, but it's not been good in terms of just getting the structure in place at the club. So I just want to plan. If it is because someone's at the Euros, fine, that excuses it. But we just don't know. We don't know. And Alistair Gold's pulling his hair out, bless him. He's trying to take days off and then...
he hasn't got his hair left, let's be honest. It's sort of,
It's going. But it's kind
of like... the Gareth Bale man bun. I would like to see that, Ali Gold with a Gareth Bale bun.
But yeah, it's just... we just got to get it sorted. Pre-season's coming out. We haven't signed any players. No players have left yet. So there's so much still to do. And pre-season starts next week, and we announced 2 friendlies today as well against Leyton Orient and NK Dons, which
that's right,
might try and get to the Leyton Orient game to support.
I'll be at the NK Dons one probably. I think just to go down and show my face. It'd be good to get to a pre-season friendly. I've not done that for a while.
The Orient game as well. Like £2 of each ticket goes towards the Justin Edinburgh Foundation, which the Cheese Room podcast supports. Justin's been on a couple of times. And he's been doing I saw him on Sky Sports News last week showing how to use the defibrillator, and he's really taken that role, and he's making his dad proud. Like he's been such a shining light for what is a serious issue. We've seen with Mwamba, we saw with Ericsson, we've seen these cases, and that's in like the pinnacle of football. He's trying to get it sorted all the way down the ladder so even gyms and fitness clubs have defibrillators ready. So fair play to him.
Well, they save lives, and we absolutely support him every step of the way. Mark says, I can't ever remember a manager search like what is happening at Spurs right now. I don't think any of us really know what's going on. I think that's the problem, but it certainly appears to be a complete shit show. Tyler says the manager situation is so embarrassing for the fans. only linked with Conte to get season tickets sold. We'll end up sticking with Mason, maybe.
No.
Do you think there's something Machiavellian in there, Bren? Do you think that Conte was only linked for season ticket sales?
It was a bit of a coincidence that it sprung up the day before and then was quickly put to bed the day after the season ticket renewal date passed. I wouldn't like to think that had an impact, but you never know with the owners that we've got, just because, like I said, the communication from the club is so poor. Levy does very few interviews, and that's the role that you want Paratici to perhaps take, that he will be the public face, so we will get more information from the club and maybe calm us down a bit and not think that it's just a bunch of headless chickens trying to scrape together a football club.
Organise a piss up in a brewery, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Jade says Ledley has zero impact. Get him out. Bit harsh, maybe, Bren.
The thing is, we don't know what he's been brought. What was his role? It was assistant
analyst.
coach.
Now he's an analyst. He was brought in to read an iPad, devise tactics and do briefings, and coach players before they go on, show the positions on the iPad, on the tablet. This is where you need to pick up your man, etc., etc. That's his role at the club, and I think he's he's doing his badges. But ultimately, he is a club legend, like you say. So I guess that is a real reason why he's there.
And with Levy, we don't know how much of the Jose effect was impacting things more than his. Maybe he had quite a limited role, and Jose was such a big sort of figure and personality that maybe Ledley wasn't able to do the things that he wanted to do. We just don't know. So I agree. He's not very vocal like Mason. I criticised Mason last season on his touchline demeanour. He was far too quiet, just sat there with his arm folded, no instructions. And sometimes the bench needs to give a kick up the arse to the players on the pitch, and he wasn't giving them. And Ledley's quite similar. We discussed it as well. He's quite quiet. But like I said, we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. I'd like to hope that he'd still have a role at the club.
Absolutely. Well, that's Tottenham. Let's talk Euros. That's more pleasant. We're going to try and get this bit done quick tonight so everyone can get to bed and be refreshed, ready for the England game tomorrow. But we are going to talk England shortly. So Spain beat Croatia 5-2 after extra time. Brad, did you catch any of that game?
I watched it all. What a game. It was just, both games tonight were just superb. Spain were... It sort of went back and forth, similarly to the Switzerland-France game. Both games the momentum seemed to switch so many times within the 120 minutes. The first goal, the own goal, was that keeper. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of De Gea, but surely he should be Spain's number one. That geezer, he made up for it probably with a few more saves later on in the game, but that was inexcusable. The back pass wasn't that hard struck, and these days goalies need to know how to use their feet. So it was an embarrassing own goal, and you kind of hoped that Croatia would be able to hold on, but you knew Spain had the quality going forward in that midfield to cause problems. And when they went up, they were 3-1 up at one point. You kind of thought, that's it now. But Croatia, the manager, again, the two games were very, very similar. Made really good substitutions at the right time, got that energy back and got back into it 3-3. And I think Emma Hayes said on commentary, had the game not full-time whistle not gone on 90 when it was 3-3, Croatia would have probably won, because they had that momentum. They were really going for it. Yeah, but then they just tired in extra time. What a game.
It was a fantastic game of football. Really sad that Croatia are out. Really enjoyed watching Modric roll back the years. Unbelievable. He's 35 going on 36, isn't he, Modric?
I think he is 36. Yeah, just
36 now. Is he? Unbelievable. It's the tournament of the oldies. Ronaldo, Modric, and Henderson. And then the game we've just seen, Switzerland knocking out France. Mad. Unbelievable, Brent. Unbelievable. I mean, I thought, Switzerland were the better side for much of it. They looked much more up for it, much more of a cohesive team unit, played within their limitations really well. I thought Shaqiri, if he played like that for a club team, constantly, he'd be a world beater, wouldn't he? An absolute world beater at club level, but he's very sort of up and down. But he shines. He really does shine when he plays for Switzerland. I thought they were fantastic tonight. And you know what? When France went 3-1, I was sat there thinking, okay, I better go get everything set up for the show, sort of wandered out here and to just come back like they did. It was just fantastic. And to see two teams in a day come back from 3-1 down, incredible, wasn't it?
It was superb. Yeah, again, Switzerland deserved their lead. They were the better team in the first half. That header, I even forgot his name. That's the first time I'd seen that striker for Switzerland as well. But he scored a beautiful header early on. And again, you're sort of thinking, will they hold on? It was 1-0 going in at the break. They deserved it. Then there was the penalty incident. And that to me, we were all saying this is the turning point. When Hugo made that save, it was a great save, really strong arm. You're thinking, right. And then they go 2-1 up straight away with 2 goals in 2 minutes. You did think that's it. And then
and that Pogba goal.
It was exquisite. It was exquisite.
But it was the sublime and the ridiculous with Pogba, wasn't it? Because he scores a goal. He showed both his sides for me. So and people are sort of focusing in very much on the goal and all the rest of it and the Swiss goal. But what they didn't focus on was that Swiss goal came from Pogba losing the ball terribly in midfield, like being really lazy in possession. I think it was the equalising goal, 90 whatever minute. And Pogba was just dilly-dallying around with it, got dispossessed, counter-attacking goal. Pogba, man of 2 arms, didn't he?
Yeah, and again, like his passing, I think the 2 sort of standout players for both teams were him and Xhaka with their passing.
Xhaka? Where did that come from?
That it was like a quarterback sort of pass, and that defender Kimpembe wasn't great. Varane as well looked rattled. Rabiot made a few gave away a few free kicks. Wow. There was the one right at the end before it went to penalties. So I think they put Rabiot in left back or right back in one of the fullback positions. That's not his natural position. No. He is a holding midfielder. So it was a strange selection. I think there were some injuries at the back. Hernandez, I think, is out for France, which is why they had to shuffle it around, and they went 3 at the back, which meant that Pogba was with Kante in front, and he just didn't have enough bodies around him. It was just Kante trying to be 3 people, which normally he can be. So yeah,
go on, give me your best Roy Keane impression. Go on.
It's your job. It's your job.
Pogba.
Paul Pogba. It's his job. All right. So it was a great game. Both were really great games. Like you had sort of the central defenders of all 4 teams were pretty ropey, but it was just made such entertaining football. What a day! Like from 5 o'clock until
I knew they were ruined when Sissoko came on.
He did all right. Did you see the little shimmy when he sold the guy like 3 dummies and crossed it in? And Coman hit the bar.
Don't you think his legs move like in slow motion when he's doing a shimmy and like taking a player on? It's like watching a gazelle like almost tripping over themselves.
But it worked. It looked like
how? I think they were
hypnotized.
They were hypnotized by his legs.
Yeah, and the Swiss defender was just like, and he beat him, and that was a great ball. And Coman, like he hit the bar, that should have been in. Like he hit it well. Just it was rising, and just you're talking inches. But yeah, just pure entertainment. I mean, there's how many goals today? So 5. There was 14 goals.
We haven't even talked about Hugo's save yet. Hugo's penalty save. I mean, that was the turning point. I thought Hugo turned the game on its head, didn't it? When he saved that penalty, Switzerland could have gone 2-0 up. He saved it. Beautiful. Bottom right-hand corner. Got his hand, big paw down to it. And obviously, that really put France in the ascendancy, I thought. They were 1-0 down at the time, and they literally went up the other end and scored twice within 2 minutes on the back of that Hugo.
I literally said exactly what you said about 2 minutes ago, but yeah.
But my question, I'm coming to my point. My question is, how good is Hugo Lloris? I want to just put it out there. He's been disrespected by a lot of Tottenham Hotspur fans over the last 2 years, I would say. If you look statistically, he's still one of the best, if not the best, keeper in the Premier League, certainly in terms of shot stopping and expected goals saved. he proved it again tonight. He was fantastic. I thought he was fantastic, despite that he couldn't do anything about the 3 goals. But the penalty save, the inspirational leadership, I thought he was absolutely bang on. And I hope people have a word with themselves, because if you're dissing Hugo, you need to stop. He is crucial for our success.
Yeah, look, I think that we all love Hugo. Hugo loves the club. He is part of Tottenham. We call out his mistakes. He does make mistakes, but then every keeper does. And that's the nature of being a goalkeeper. When you make a mistake, it will lead to, more often than not, leads to a goal. If you're outfield, you can make 20 mistakes a game and just had a bit of a shit game, but no one will remember that you let the ball roll under your foot in the World Cup final. But everyone remembers that about Hugo. So he does have these rickets in him, but he's world class. And he's still got, for a goalie, he's got a good 3 or 4 years, well, maybe not 4, but
easily.
Certainly 3 years at the top level. And I do hope we hold on to him. I mean, he may want to return to France. We don't know. I don't think he does.
PSG. Now they've signed
Donnarumma, yeah. So yeah, I hope he stays, and I'm a big fan. And it was a great save, like I said, and it like we said earlier, it felt like the turning point of the match. Like that goes in 2-0, then Switzerland you'd think would tighten it up and limit France and maybe sit back a bit more. But when with that save, it gave France some momentum, and you just thought the game was over when it went 3-1.
Oh yeah,
like with the Spain against Croatia game, you think game over, but no, it was just epic night of football tonight. And
then the second turning point, as I said, was when Sissoko came on. You knew it was curtain call. Amazing games, amazing football tonight. I'm loving this tournament, absolutely loving it. It's been brilliant so far. But it's the big one tomorrow. The big one. Will Kane turn up for a change? Will Southgate coach his players to take it just a little bit over the halfway line? What are we going to see? What are we saying, Brendan? How are England going to line up, do you think, tomorrow? Firstly, how do you think they'll line up? And secondly, what would you do? So I want to know what you think Southgate's going to do, and then what would you do differently?
Do you want like a formation or team selection?
Just go through your team section. Imagine we're playing, 4-3-3, which is probably what they will play. Go for it.
Cool. So obviously Pickford in goal. He's done pretty well so far this tournament.
Amazing. He's a different player for England, isn't he?
Yeah, he's okay. He's athletic. I think he's and you'd want to maybe give one of the other keepers a chance, but he's made it his own. He's not really given them a reason to think they have a chance. So fair play to him. I hope he keeps it up. So back 4, you'd think that Maguire will be back now, like to start. So Maguire, Stones as your centre-back pairing. Fullbacks, I think Walker, I just think he's a bit more solid on the right, and then left. He's not played. Chilwell's had his COVID stuff, so maybe put Trippier back there, even though he's switching sides. I think it did work in the first game against Czech Republic, wasn't it? Or Croatia. And midfield, Rice seems to be. No one seems to be questioning Rice's inclusion. I don't know. I'm not overly sold on him, but we'll go with Rice, and he'll probably go with Calvin Phillips. So are we going with the 3? So it's sitting 3 and front 3, or 4-2-3-1?
Whatever you want, but I think it'll be 4-3-3.
I think it'll be 4-2-3-1. I think we'll go with Phillips and Rice holding midfielders, and the 3 of. I think Grealish has done enough to earn a start. I think he can fuck off Mason Mount. Like I've not been impressed with him. Foden as well hasn't been great. Sterling's come up with the goals, so you can't really drop Sterling. So Sterling, Kane, and then
you can. Sterling's been shit.
He's got the goals though. Like he's done what he's there for.
He's got a tap in.
He's making the runs. He's got to be there. So and Southgate loves him. He's played. He's not really played well this season. Still won the league, but Southgate does have sort of favourites. So
Saka was terrific last game, wasn't he?
Yeah, and Saka. So that leaves one more, and so you go with Saka because he does have that guile, and he's got the youth. He's probably Arsenal's best player, but it certainly is at the moment, and he's got a great future ahead of him. Until City go and buy him. So yeah, that's what you just want to see. I mean, the 11, it depends on the attitude as well. They've got to really be up for it. If we're just going to play the lackadaisical sit back and try and catch, then
I don't think we are lackadaisical. I think we play to a plan, and he keeps it incredibly tight. Almost
it's not great
the best
on the eye, though.
It's terrible on the eye. But if it wins us the Euros, do you care?
But yeah, I'd rather. Well, maybe like I'll take all the joy from tonight and we'll have it sucked out of us tomorrow by Gareth. But
we will. Honestly, you'll be miserable as sin tomorrow night because it will be like a 0-0 or a 1-0 or it's gonna be boring because Southgate is boring, and I don't think he knows any other way. In many respects, the best thing that can happen to us is we concede an early goal because then we've got to chase and go after it. And then,
we'll leave space in behind and they'll get more. Like, we can't give the Germans space. We saw their when they beat Portugal, I think, wasn't it 4-1, 4-2? They just ripped through them. So they can do that if you do give them space. So yeah, then maybe you're right. Maybe the cautious approach is what we want against the bigger teams, and that's why we've been playing quite boring football to prepare for the bigger teams. Although we've seen with the performances of the Czech Republic and Croatia recently that they're no mugs either. So it gets serious now. So you just hope that the players do turn up. That Harry has a bit more of a spring in his step. He's looked so off the pace.
Did you see Patrick in his 3-ball challenge in training?
I saw he posted it. I can't. Training videos just don't do for me, really. Was it good?
Oh yeah, the first one was an absolute worldie of a strike. Really good. And the other two were just regulation, sort of as you'd expect from Kane, to be honest. But he then celebrated with a Robbie Keane-esque half cartwheel. It looked the cartwheel gone really badly wrong and like
falling over.
Yeah, head over heels. And yeah, Robbie Keane put a comment on there saying, that looks familiar. So yeah, there you go. It's my worst Irish accent impression.
The Germans. I mean, the Germans don't really. We shouldn't really be fearing them. Like, they've not played superbly. We can get out that defense. Hummels and Boateng is it Boateng these playing? They can got at. Boateng's looking for a club. Hummels is getting on a bit. Muller's just coming back from injury, so I think he may start, but he's not going to be super sharp. Muller's like their Dele Alli. I see Dele Alli and Muller being very, very similar in that they're not out and out strikers, but they get in there. They make the right runs. They're always sort of
the right place.
Yeah. So I don't know if Werner will start. He didn't start the last game. I think he did at the beginning of the tournament.
He was.
But yeah, I don't think there's much there to fear. But it's still Germany, like it's because of the history there. You just never know. They're a tournament team. They're the pedigree is
prediction, Bren. Come on then.
Prediction. I'm hoping we'll win. It's my birthday tomorrow, and I want England to deliver.
Bren. Only 45 minutes to go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 45 minutes. So I think we can win. And if we try and we lose, then if we had the same feeling as with Euro 96, where we deserved to go through, that was no way Germany with a better team then. But we lost. If we put on a shift, we can beat this German team. So I reckon 2-1. It's not going to be 3-3 or 5-3 like today.
I'll go 2-1 to England after extra time because they'll definitely put us through that. 100% it will go through. It will go 100%. As sure as I am his day, it will go to extra time. I don't believe any different. I'm sure it will. Certain it will. Hopefully not penalties. Please no penalties.
No penalties. But it's at home. Like one thing that I want to see is for the crowd to get behind the team, to support the team.
Yes, there's more at this, isn't there? I think it's 45,000. So decent crowd. That's pretty sizable. So we should hopefully, and of course, because of the coronavirus restrictions, there won't really be any German fans there. Only locals. So you would like to think that we would have a big home advantage in terms of the crowd. So yeah, I mean, and certainly, I mean, if they win this, the draw is really open, isn't it, through to the final for us? So you got to be thinking, make the most of that. Come on, England, seize the moment. Go for it. What are you going to say?
I was going to say, we just you'd hope that the crowd would make a noise, like because Wembley's like we spent almost 2 years with Wembley as our home. It is quite cavernous. It's a big bowl. So the atmosphere is quite hard to create an intimidating atmosphere in that stadium. Obviously, when I say intimidating, I don't want them to be booing the national anthem and all that crap, but to really be that 13th, 11th man, 12th man even, to give the team that boost, the lift that they need, not be a burden on the team, to give them the lift. That's what I want from the home crowd, and no booing and taking the fucking knee. Not just support the team that you're there to support, and yeah, I think we can do it. And like you said, that opens up. Who would we play then? Would we play Denmark, or was it who's on our side? Do you have the draw there?
Off the top of my head, is it Sweden we'd play? I think everyone's about Sweden and Ukraine, isn't it?
Yeah. Which you'd prefer to France, Spain, or France are gone.
Not
Switzerland,
France,
Switzerland, Spain, or Italy. So that side is favourable, and if we do beat the Germans, then there is a path to the final. We had this though in the World Cup, and
we did. It opened up for us, and we blew it. So we play the winner of Sweden versus the Ukraine in the quarterfinals, and then obviously that will go down to the semis after that, won't it? So it's going to be interesting, is what I would say. Yeah, we've got on the other side of the draw, obviously. There's Denmark through, Czech Republic through. There's so many big teams out, isn't there? Netherlands are out. Wales are out.
We just think we were thinking that we had a soft group, but we didn't really. Like Czech Republic took it all. Just beat the Netherlands, knocked out Netherlands. I know they had the red card, and Croatia, they pushed Spain all the way today. They could easily have won that. And Scotland, the game that we didn't actually win, they're the team that's got home. So you just never tell. And you think maybe complacency from the bigger teams, that the teams like Czech Republic, Croatia, and Switzerland are causing problems in the knockout stage. But big teams got to deliver. Tonight was huge. France were by far my favourite to win the trophy.
Yeah, everyone's favourite.
Yeah.
By the way, in the semi-final, Brendan, it is Czech Republic or Denmark if we get through this. If we get through this, and then if we get through Sweden or Ukraine, then potentially it would be Czech Republic or Denmark. So.
See, that's a great route to the final. And who would we get in the final? With France gone, you always thought it would be France in the final, but probably Italy. Yeah, Italy
could well be Italy. Italy have looked probably. I think Italy would now be favourites because they were second favourites to win the tournament. France have gone. England third favourites ahead of Germany. So and I believe player for player, we're a better side than Germany. I think we've just got to get in there and prove it and play with passion. I just want to see us. If we're going to go out, let's go out on our shield. And play with pride and play with passion and a bit of energy and a bit of enthusiasm, like we've seen the England sides that have really excited us. Euro 96, Italia 90. For those older than that, Mexico. There's those sides that are, really passionate, exciting, and good to watch. And it comes down to a thrilling conclusion. Then we lose on penalties to the Germans normally. So let's hope we just go out and give it a bloody good go. That's my ask.
One quarter that we're looking forward to as well, Belgium against Italy. That's huge.
Massive.
Where's the favourite there? Like the number one team in the world against the favourites. So
I think Italy are always the favourites because I think Belgium are just a bit wishy-washy in tournament football. I mean, that's the truth. They've got all the talented players in the world, but they are managed by Martinez, which puts a question mark on them.
Who the players love. Like you hear Toby talk about him. Like he said, I'd love Martinez to manage me at Spurs. So again, we're going back to the
get another contract, Brad. Get another couple of years.
But yeah, it's been such a great tournament. It really has. Just the quality of the football, the emotion, the games having crowds back. And the refereeing's been good. VAR's been good. It's just been a really good quality tournament, which with the increase in teams playing in it, so you have that extra round. Then, whereas before, straight after the group phase, you go to the quarters. Now you've got the extra teams in there, but it's not affected the quality. It's been superb.
Well, and look, Switzerland, 2-0 to Denmark. 2-0 to Denmark. 2-0 to Switzerland. 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 just knock France out. So the traditionally smaller teams can still get on, can't they? And that's the thing. We're going to wrap the broadcast there because I want to get to bed. To be honest, I work at 6:30 in the morning. I want to get back here in time for the big game. Brendan, you have a wonderful birthday, mate.
Cheers, mate.
We will celebrate. I will celebrate with you next Friday by buying you something really nice, a flaming shot or something, and we'll have a great old time in London town. I'm coming down earlier now, by the way. The missus has basically told me I need to get out. She's got plans that day, and she's dropping them off at the train station. It was going to be at 12, but now it's going to be a lot earlier. So, if you want to do a museum or go on the London Eye with me, feel free. I'll just be floating around London.
Pub, but yeah. London Eye. Why would we go to a museum as well? Come on, it's London. There's loads more. We're not 12 years old. We'll find more
listen, don't diss museums. The caller's a very educated man. Until next time, come on, England. We can
come on,
do
England.
it.